Welcome to Ghoulish Gab. Always spooky, always under 7 minutes. Today we're talking about Rob Zombie. Yes, very polarizing figure in horror. People seem to either love him or hate him. I've been a fan of his for many years. I saw White Zombie was one of the first concerts I ever saw, so I've been following him for quite a long time.
Yeah.
House of a Thousand Corpses was the first horror movie that he did, which I would say is still my favorite of the small amount of films that he's done.
It's my second favorite. I think, though, that part of it was a very, when you first started watching it, it felt very much like you were just going to be getting into any old slasher movie. And then as it dove in, you're like, oh no, this is getting really fucking weird. Really weird. Like, I think the first time I watched it, I just assumed Captain Spaulding was going to be the killer, and that's what we were dealing with. And then it just spiraled.
Dr. Satan! So that was 2003, but I know it was filmed a couple of years earlier and then held up. But, so we were just coming out of the 90s was all about, like, the Scream and I Know What You Did Last Summer type of horror. And I think towards the end of that, in the early 2000s, I think the more violent stuff was just kind of starting to make a comeback. You know, we get back into Saw and stuff like that. But I think at the time it came out, there hadn't been, especially in the theater, a lot of like batshit crazy horror movies for quite a while.
Yeah.
And the film still had a pretty limited theater run. But I mean, that brought us, the Captain Spaulding and the Firefly family.
Which then goes into my favorite Rob Zombie film, which is The Devil's Rejects. And then, of course, he brings back a bunch of the same characters. You got Sid Haig, Bill Moseley, Sherry Moon Zombie, which Rob Zombie likes to repeat a lot of actors. Yeah. I know that one thing that was kind of a hang-up for a lot of people is they recast Mother Firefly. But I guess they did that because Karen Black wanted, like, double her salary, and they couldn't afford that. So they got Leslie Easterbrook.
She was still good, though.
But that one's, I don't know, it's kind of like, he was going for that 70s vibe, which I know time constraints and budget constraints didn't allow him to do as many practical effects as they wanted, but it did have a very 70s horror feel. And I think that also might be the only time I've enjoyed listening to Leonard Skinner.
I know with that, he said he wanted that to kind of look the opposite of House of a Thousand Corpses, whereas House was all like nighttime and very, dark and everything. So he wanted this to kind of just be like a daytime horror, which I think does go a lot back. It did have that 70s look to it. You think of movies like Chainsaw Massacre, just the
sepia tones.
Yes. Absolutely. I think my other favorite Rob Zombie movie is Lords of Salem from 2012, which is a very slow burn. So I know some people aren't a fan of it, but it's very, atmospheric in a certain way. It's not fast-paced, and it's not just chop, chop, chop.
Which puts quite a few people off from it, but I think it adds attention.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, that when a radio DJ gets sent this mysterious record that kind of triggers slow-burning insanity.
Yep.
She starts getting flashbacks of, the violent past of the town, and then you get into all the witches. And the cast is pretty packed, too, just even with cameos or smaller bits. I mean, you've got Meg Foster, Dee Wallace, Michael Berryman, Sid Haig, Ken Faree, Lisa Marie, Barbara Crampton, and the list goes on and on. So it's a great cast. It's a cool look. I thought it's a really cool-looking movie.
Oh, for sure.
Too, but it's definitely way different than the other movies that he's done.
To bring in a polarizing subject, what's your take on his remake of Halloween?
So let's go back to that. That was, I don't remember what year that was.
I can't remember either.
2007, 6. But the Halloween franchise was seriously in the shitter at that time. I mean, Halloween H2O was not good. And, they were trying to capitalize on kind of the Scream feel of that era. And it should have been good because Jamie Lee Curtis came back and, it could have been good. That movie did not really please fans so much. And then there was, Resurrection or whatever after, the one with Busta Rhymes, the reality show. And that was just kind of shitty. And so I think after that, they realized they're like, well, if we want to make more money off this franchise, a reboot was probably the way to go. And at that time it was. And I mean, Rob Zombie's version is grittier and a lot more violent than the last few movies that came before it. Obviously, you're remaking a Stone Cold classic.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough, critically, as far as people criticizing it. But I enjoyed it right off the bat. I thought it was a good move for the franchise at the time. I mean, looking back, who knows? Maybe they should have never did a remake, but I don't have a problem with it.
I like it. I do. One thing that I point out when this topic comes up is I like that they made Michael more intriguing. Like, he was just a boogeyman before, but they made him more human. I know some people hate that, but I think it made him scarier because you see his glow up to becoming a fucking monster, and that's terrifying. He was terrifying as a child.
Yeah, that franchise overall goes through so many like peaks and valleys of what the starting from the very beginning. The first movie's a classic, and from there it's like, what the fuck is this? And it really doesn't have a lot of solid movies in it. So I don't know, that remake I would say is better than the majority of the movies in that franchise. But I know a lot of people are anti-remake no matter what, et cetera, but that's about all the time we have.
Wait, real quick, before we run out of time, I have to ask, have you watched The Haunted World of El Super Beasto?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that. That's a good one.
It's on Tubi. It's Rob Zombie, animated, really super graphic adult cartoon. Watch it. Right, now that's all the time we have.
Okay, tell us
things
in the comments.
Bye.